Okay, now that we've learned nth root, we can use nth root to solve different kinds of equations. Okay, before we start solving them officially, let's just look at these first equations and see if we know what the answers are without thinking of the process. Okay, so if n squared equals 49, what's n equal? Yep, it could be 7. Yeah, it could be -7 as well. Because 7 squared is 49, -7 squared is 49. What about m to the 4th equals 16? Exactly, 2 and -2. Because if I do -2 times -2, I get a positive, times -2 is negative, and times negative is positive again. What about x squared equals -36? Is it -4 if I do -4 times -4? No, it's imaginary, so there's no real solution. Okay, let's look at the second row. The second row has all odd exponents. So if I do x to the third equals 8, what do I get? I get 2. Sure. What about -2? Let's check. If I do -2 times -2 times -2, I get 4 times -2. If I do 4 times -2, I get -8. So there's actually only one answer here. It's only x equals 2. Okay, what about y to the 5th equals 32? Sure, it could be 2. Can it be -2? Let's check. If I do negative, negative, negative. If I do negative times negative, that's positive, negative, positive, negative. I would get a -32. -2 does not work here. Okay, what about p to the third equals -125? Is there no real solution? Let's try -5. That's 25 times -5. That's -125. So p could be -5. Okay, now based on what we just figured out looking at this, let's make some conclusions. Okay, so for the equation x to the n equals k, when the exponent is even, how many solutions do we normally get? We got 7, -7, 2, -2. We normally get 2 solutions. Normally, not all the time. Now, what if x to the 2 equals a negative? Well, then I get no real solution. It could be imaginary. Okay, now when n is odd, like the second row, how many solutions do we get? 1, 1. We get 1 solution. Okay, what about if x to the third equals a negative? We still get 1 solution. So it's okay to do odd roots on negatives. It's not okay to do even roots on negatives. Okay, based on these 2 observations, we're going to try to solve using nth root. Okay, I'm going to solve it like normal. When we get to the end, we're going to think about how many solutions we should expect, and then go from there. So x to the third, that's plus the 11. I get 27. Okay, now to cancel the third, I could do the third root on both sides. Third root. Okay, now when I do the third root of 27, I do get 3. Do I get -3? No, because when I do a third root, I only get 1 answer. Let's try the next one. It's minus the 3. So 2x to the 4th equals 162. If I divide by 2, I get 81. Okay, so I have x to the 4th, so I'm going to do the 4th root of 81. Okay, now should I get 1 answer or 2 answers? Since this is even like a square root, I should get 2 answers. So it's going to be positive and negative. What's the 4th root of 81? 3. Okay, and that's because if I multiply a negative times itself an even number of times, it goes back to positive. Okay, let's try this one. Plus 11, I get x to the 6th equals 19. Okay, to cancel the exponent of 6th, I'm going to do a 6th root. Okay, now should I get 1 answer or 2 answers? I should get 2 because it's a 6th root and 6 is even, a positive and a negative. What's the 6th root of 19? Yeah, I have no idea, some kind of decimal. So I'm going to leave it as plus or minus the 6th root of 19. going. N to the fifth plus 2. Let me minus the 2. N to the fifth equals 13 minus 2, 11. Okay, to cancel the fifth power, I'm going to do a fifth root. Okay, if I do a fifth root, do I get 2 answers? No, I just get 1. So do I know the fifth root of 11? No, it's irrational. So n is the fifth root of 11. No plus minus if it's an odd exponent. Okay, minus 1, 64. P to the fifth, divide by 2, 32. Okay, now I'm going to do fifth root. Okay, do I get plus minus? No, because it's odd. It's an odd exponent. What's the fifth root of 32? 2. Okay, minus 3. Y to the 10th equals 1. Okay, to cancel the 10, I'm going to do a 10th root. Okay, if it's a 10th root, is it plus minus? Yes, because it's even. What's the 10th root of 1? Yeah, it's 1. 1 times any root of 1 is going to be 1. Okay, now we also used to solve equations like this using square root. We can do it with higher level roots as well. Okay, so if I see this first one, it's x plus 2 raised to the 7th equals 6. To cancel the 7th exponent, I'm going to do a 7th root. Okay, this root cancels out the exponent, so x plus 2 equals, now for the 7th root of 6, is there a plus minus? No, so it's just 7th root of 6. I don't know what the 7th root of 6 is. Okay, let me minus the 2 to the other side. Okay, I'm going to have minus 2, and then I only have a 7th root of 6. Is it positive or negative? It's a positive 7th root of 6. So I only get one answer. It's negative 2 plus the 7th root of 6. Let's try the next one. Okay, x minus 4 to the third. That's going to be a third root. Okay, I have the third root of negative 125. Can we third root negatives? Yes, you can third root odds. Okay, what's the third root of negative 125? It is negative 5. Okay, so if I plus 4 to the other side, I get negative 1. Okay, so I only got one answer. I'm just going to plug this back in so you can see that it does work. If I plug negative 1 here, I get negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. Negative 5 to the third is negative 125, so it does work. Okay, let's look at x plus 7 to the fourth. So I'm going to do fourth root. Okay, now if I do the fourth root of 16, is there a plus minus? Yes, because it's an even root. Fourth root of 2. Okay, so I should get 2 answers. Okay, if I minus the 7 from the positive 2, I get negative 5. Minus 2 minus 7 is minus 9. Okay, let's plug it in our heads too. If I plug in negative 5, here I get negative 5 plus 7 is 2. 2 to the fourth is 16. If I plug in negative 9 plus 7 is negative 2. Raised to the fourth is still 16. Let's do one more example. X minus 1 to the sixth. So sixth root. Sixth root. Okay, is there a plus or minus on the sixth root? Yes, because it's an even root. What's the sixth root of 15? Yeah, I have no idea. It's a decimal. It's irrational. Okay, I'm going to add the 1 over. So I'm going to have 1 plus or minus the 6 through the 15. And I get 2 answers because it's an even root. Okay, go ahead and carefully do the practice problems and then check your answers at the bottom and be really careful about looking for if there's 2 answers or 1 answer.